Welcome to Talk to Brazil with Tom Reaoch, the business connector to business in Brazil. Welcome to Talk to Brazil, the Business Connection, a podcast about business in Brazil and the world. I'm Tom Reaoch, an American living in Brazil for many years and known as the King of Networking, connecting people and talking from my podcast studio in Campinas, São Paulo, Brazil. Today's guest is Renata Thiebaut, and she's joining us today from Ottawa, Canada. Renata Thiebaut is Brazilian, previously a guest on Talk to Brazil, a truly global person with more than 10 years of experience living, working, learning, and teaching in China. Amongst her many skills, she is now an Alibaba Global Course Lecturer at Taobao Marketplace, also a professor and advisory board member at Alibaba Business School. She's now a partner and COO of Green Proposition, a company established in the United Arab Emirates and responsible for bringing Alibaba's GET program to Brazil and in Portuguese. This will be for the first time, and this program is to empower women and young people. It's an incredible program that will provide free training by Alibaba Business School and also gives a rare opportunity for young persons to earn some cash. So with that, Renata, hello and welcome again to Talk to Brazil, the Business Connection.
Hi, hello, Tom. Thanks for having me again.
It's always exciting. It's always good because through this time I've been listening and following several of your seminars. You've been on a number of lives, always talking about China, always talking about opportunities. And it's amazing how many of the times you've shown how Alibaba, how the digital transformation, how business is done, how retail business is done in China and how it's evolved. So it's exciting. And I can see here for Brazil, really exciting to see that now you're coming here with a GET program and you'll be the person teaching that, right?
Exactly. So in 2018, Alibaba started to invest a lot into education with different programs, and GET is one of them that really caters to the youth and also to empowerment of human, not only in China, but around the globe. Mm-hmm. And it's my pleasure to announce that for the first time, Brazil will be part of the program.
Oh, so this has been going on in other parts of the world.
Yes, since last year, we had a couple of GET programs and a challenge in Southeast Asia, for example. Mexico is very active as well. And this time, Brazil will be one of the focus of our program. And hopefully, we will represent the country very well.
I'm sure you will. And for everything you keep saying, you have become, you are a Brazil-China expert in terms of business. And I remember the first time we talked on Talk to Brazil, you shared with us your journey from Brazil to China to actually represent a Brazilian company selling chocolate. And from there, you just kept going.
Exactly.
You never stopped, right? Life just keeps getting sweeter all the time. Is that it?
Exactly. I've been in China for 14 years, almost 15 years, actually. And I have had the opportunity to work with big global brands, mm-hmm. such as Nestlé, Unilever. But this year, I am more focused on SMEs as well as the youth. To help the marketplace, to help Alibaba to recruit students and also to educate them so they know more about the jobs of the future, right? Which will be digitalized. Everything will go to digital. So they will learn about e-commerce and digital marketing as well as social media.
Well, I think that makes sense because I can see here in Brazil and many parts of the world, the younger persons are more digitalized. They have always seemed to evolve because they're the internet culture. They learned, they were born with internet. They were born digital. So is it easier for them to assimilate a program like this?
It is much easier. They already know how the internet works. They already know some content. They know how to promote their channels on YouTube or Facebook. But our focus will be on how they can really leverage their existing knowledge to the next level, to really build a strategy for them to succeed in the future if they want to work in this field in the future.
Now, what are the prerequisites for the persons you're looking? Because I saw a recent post that you put on LinkedIn, trying to connect to attract younger persons or students. What are the prerequisites for a person wanting to take part in GET?
We need motivated people. So we understand that right now the situation can be a bit challenging in Brazil. So they really need to grab this opportunity in a very motivating way for them to learn and then to apply the skills that they learn. Because this is an opportunity of a lifetime for them to learn about e-commerce, digital marketing, social media, but also to start building their career in the field.
Well, I think we should add that the program is free, right? There's no charge for the persons who are selected to participate. The training is free, as I understand from what you had said in our previous conversation. So on this expectation, it certainly is an offer to persons. I would think they would be motivated from that.
Yes, and then you have the chance to work with Chinese brands that want to enter the Brazilian market through AliExpress Marketplace. And then you have the chance also to make money out of the program.
So it's learn and make money.
Exactly. So the program will start by them working with different brands and different Chinese companies that they choose, products that they think are suitable for the Brazilian market, products that they really think would fit their behavior and the products that they really enjoy for them to make a commission.
Right.
And in the future, they can have opportunity of jobs as well with these Chinese companies.
But again, everything will be offered in Portuguese, correct?
That's correct. I understand that sometimes there is a language barrier, so they do not need to worry about the language. Everything will be done in Portuguese.
And you are the person talking, right?
Yes, because I've been working with Alibaba Business School as well as Taobao University. I am used to give training to thousands of students. And it will be the first time that I will have Brazilian students in my program.
Well, you can't say that you forgot how to deal with Brazilians, can you, after 15 years in China?
Well, I do have an accent, I believe. But it is okay. Usually the companies I work with from Brazil, they do not really complain about my Portuguese. It's understandable.
Well, they don't even complain about mine, so they shouldn't complain about yours.
Yeah, but they do say I have Chinese accent, which I do not think so.
Well, that's true. Well, you probably may have. I don't think so. But what is the training? How long will this take? It's all online. What is the schedule? Is it any time people want to get on? Is it fixed hours?
No. The program starts on September 30th. So we still have a bit of time to recruit the students, and then we will start the training for around 1 week. It's still to be scheduled, but it will be in the end of September as well.
And this will be full-time for 1 week?
Yes, and it is going to be online.
Okay, so basically what a person needs is an internet connection, a reasonable internet connection.
Exactly.
Everything will be online, audio, video. How will that be?
We are going to have a video.
Okay, but would you suggest that people use a notebook or a desktop more than a smartphone, or does it matter?
It can be either, but they need to be comfortable with a device for them to learn how to build the content.
Because in China, things I've seen in a number of presentations you've made, almost everything, and I'll say everything, but the majority of Chinese people, the consumers, they're basically using their smartphone or a smartphone type device for all of their interactivity in terms of business. Does it help to learn this over a smartphone?
Yes, it's okay. And in Brazil, it's I believe that there is no major difference because everybody is on WhatsApp, right? In China, it's WeChat. In Brazil, it's WhatsApp.
Right.
So these youngsters, they are really used to use the phones.
Okay. That's where most people and most young people that I know are at today. Now, what is the drive from the Chinese, from Alibaba? What's their interest in Brazil?
Brazil is one of the main markets of AliExpress outside of China. You have Russia, you have Spain, then you have Brazil. And Brazilians really know AliExpress and they really enjoy buying products from AliExpress. So this can be also a good opportunity for them to get to know more about the marketplace and in the future also use one of Alibaba platforms for them to sell their products if they want to work with e-commerce.
Well, I think that's a huge opportunity in Brazil right now because obviously, as you know, this pandemic situation has generated, even though students are students, they're not necessarily in school. Many people are looking for jobs or been out of it. They're looking for retraining. So what you mentioned to me previously, one of the prerequisites that a person needs to be a student, right? Needs to be in school of some sort.
Yes, because this program is through Alibaba's educational branch. So it is mandatory for the participants to be a student of some sort of above 18 years old.
Okay, so they have to be 18, they have to be in school, and they just need to speak Portuguese and have some ability, some digital ability.
Yes.
But it's not something they don't need to know coding or anything. It's just interacting with the device and learning how to do that.
Yeah, they do not need to know coding. If they have their own social media channels, it is much better because they can work with these Chinese companies and share with their friends, families, and followers the link of the products they would like to promote.
So you're saying
So
the
let's say
platforms,
Facebook.
that could be YouTube, could be Facebook, it could be WhatsApp, could be TikTok, it could be any of these. Or all of these?
Yes, and Instagram.
Instagram too? Okay. And so then again, do you know if this class would be during the day, the evening? Have you gotten into those details yet?
We do understand that there is a time zone difference between Brazil and China, but we will try to accommodate. So it suits the students' schedule. So it's during the day instead of in the middle of the night.
But I think that's going to be a fantastic opportunity. Now, how do people apply? How do these students apply? How will they find you to be able to register for this?
We have prepared a promotional material, and there is a QR code on it, so they can scan the QR code or go to our website and register through the website. After they do this, they are going to receive an email, and it is very important for them to check the spam box as well to make sure that they do not miss any of our emails.
Right.
And also the follow-up emails with the schedule and more detailed information about the program.
Let me just check. I think on your post you have the website on the flyer that I had seen.
We do have the website.
Yeah, what is the website for them to enter? Is it the Green Proposition?
Yes, it is the Green Proposition website.
So that would be greenproposition.com. And it's
Alibaba.
okay. /Alibaba, right?
Is /Alibaba-Brazil-GET.
Okay. So again, greenproposition.com /Alibaba-Brazil
Brazil.
get GET, and Brazil with a Z, right?
Yes.
And they'll find a QR code. It's also up on your LinkedIn platform and your post. So
Yes, it is.
That's probably the best way to see it. Or on your Green Proposition site, they'll find that. So clicking, getting in. Basically, the QR, China has used the QR code of almost everything, right?
Yes, it's very easy in China. I do believe that Brazil will start using it more and more in the future. But in China, everybody uses it.
And so for our young persons wanting, that's the first step, is to learn to interact with Chinese culture, is to be QR code fluent, and right, with a fluency in that, right?
Yes.
And create their own. What other suggestions you have to Brazilian young person, and women, specifically women? What are your suggestions to them in taking this? Why should they do that?
If they think that the jobs of the future will all be around the digitalization, they need to start gaining the right skill sets for them, not only to work for other companies, but also to set up their own business.
No, there were really two things at one time, and I think it was also here on my other podcast, BBN Brazil. I talked to a lot of women groups and women entrepreneurs trying to start companies. The challenges are always the same, in that it's that here in Brazil, considered a man's world. They're not looked to as being digitally purposed, but many of them are highly skilled in using the social platforms, and actually have started business here on the social platforms.
And one thing that is very interesting and very important for me to mention is that most of Alibaba's staff are human. So it is very good also
really?
to know.
I didn't know that.
Yes, and even Jack Ma himself, he likes saying this a lot, that his company really grew a lot because they usually, the female staff, they are very dedicated and they really look into details of the operations. So that's why his company is successful.
Well, I can see that, because most other places that I followed, even in marketing, you always find that the women tend to be very high influencers in purchases, whatever they are, even though some say it's a man's world, but you need to convince the women. Women are certainly, I think, better in convincing themselves amongst themselves, because as a man, sometimes I find it difficult to convince women.
Exactly. They are often detail-oriented as well, and this is very good when you have a company, especially doing e-commerce, because you need to put all of the pieces of puzzle together. You have logistics, you need to sell the product, you need to make your buyer happy. So usually they are very good at this.
Well, I didn't realize that in China it was that way, because I also follow and I've interviewed a number of different persons in China and Chinese group. It is the first time that you've brought that to my attention in that way. So, and I think that's similar here in Brazil. I don't think we appreciate it as you just mentioned.
Yes, I think so too.
So this will be it's not a challenge, it's an opportunity. So you find it an easy fit for women, for female students to be able to apply. And is there a selection process, or is it just applying? If they're 18, if they're in school, they will be accepted, or is there something else that they have to go through?
If they fit the requirements, they will be selected, because we really want Brazil to have a very big representation, actually, within Alibaba through this program. So we are selecting thousands of students, and I am sure it will be very successful.
Oh, so you are talking about thousands of people for this program. It's not hundreds, it's thousands.
Thousands of people.
And throughout the country. So as long as they're Brazilian, 18-year-old schools, some of the minimum requisitions.
From north to south of Brazil, any city, any part of Brazil.
Just need Wi-Fi.
Just need a Wi-Fi.
Well, that's basically what we're doing today. If we don't have a Wi-Fi, we're not in business either. So,
yeah, it's very interesting because I've been engaging a lot with my students and with my clients. Now I have one client I would like to share with you. His name is Magic Johnson. I'm sure you know about him.
wow.
And he is an inspiration. And going through his past and everything that he built, he really serves as an inspiration to myself. And I like sharing with my students as well, because maybe these millennials or the Generation Z does not really know about him.
Right.
But yeah, they should, because everything that he built as one of the best NBA players in the history, it can serve for you, to boost your confidence and also to make you believe in your future, in your career.
No, and he's evolved. He's actually, it's one of the things. He's one of the persons. You mentioned Magic Johnson. It reminds me a lot of Pelé, the Brazil soccer star.
Yes.
Actually, Magic Johnson is the same example to me of a person who actually evolved over and above his athletic capabilities and has become a successful business person, as Pelé has done.
Exactly, and he has his own brand,
right?
and we are launching his brand on Alibaba.
Wow.
So it can serve as an example. He is 60 years old, and he is still reinventing himself, and this is amazing.
Well, we all need to do that. I think this pandemic has shown all of us. I mentioned at the beginning, you're in Ottawa, even though you've lived in, you actually live in China, but you're here because you were out over vacation, and as many people were out somewhere, they are where they are.
Yes.
But we've all had to reinvent ourselves sort of immediately. And for the last several months, you've stayed in business doing what you're doing. It doesn't really matter. Not to say it doesn't matter. Obviously, being in contact with the locality is important. Being in China or being in Brazil has that, being in Canada. Because you do understand the cultural differences amongst people. But technically speaking, you're still in contact.
Yes, it's true. And the nature of my business is e-commerce. Everything is digital, and all of my clients are overseas. So there was no change, let's say, for me, because I never met most of my clients.
Well, we've never met personally either, and we've talked.
Exactly.
I know more people that I've never talked to or never seen personally, but that doesn't matter.
It's true.
Yeah. But I also,
so even for the students, sorry.
Yeah, but you also, because you are such a global person, I've seen you have established your company in United Arab Emirates. You're actually, logistically, that's good, because I imagine when you do come to Brazil to China, that's sort of a stopover, right?
Yes, it is. It's in the middle of the way. But we also have the GET program in the Middle East. So it makes sense for us to be there instead of just using my other company in China.
Mm-hmm. No, but then you are responsible for that area. You do the training there. So really, wherever you are, you're training and working.
Yes, I am in charge of the GET program in the Middle East, India, Brazil, for example, different markets.
And is the focus there the same for women?
Right now, we haven't started. So this is a pilot project we'll do between AliExpress and Alibaba Business School. And we chose Brazil because I really wanted Brazil to be part of it for the first time. And maybe by the end of this year, we'll do Middle East.
Well, I think that's perfect because I think, from my perspective here in Brazil, Brazil is ripe for this. Because as you know, Brazilians have been active consumers for the Alibaba and Chinese products here. So nothing better for them to really understand, let's say, the back office part of it.
Yes, it's true. And Brazilians are very creative. Mm-hmm. So I do believe that it is a very good match between social media, the way that Brazilians use social media in a very creative way, mm-hmm. and e-commerce, because we are big shoppers.
That's true.
We are always looking for cheap products, good quality products, and also bargains, right?
Right. I think that's the largest frustration I've seen here because of the pandemic is the inability of persons to go out and shop.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think that's worldwide. You can see the people wanting and then the drive to open up commerce and retail, malls, mm-hmm. whatever. It's not only because they can't have access through e-commerce. They want to go out and see and touch and smell and hear. And I think that part of that is important in consuming.
Yes, and have a social life as well.
Right.
Just going to the mall to chill whenever it's weekend or you have some spare time mm-hmm. is good too.
Always good. Well, Renata, I want to thank you. We're coming to the end of our time. Thanks for sharing this time and this day with us. And I want to say congratulations again and remind our listeners that it's greenproposition.com/Alibaba. Brazil with a Z, GET, right? And they'll find the QR code. Going into that QR code, they can register, being a student, 18 years old, and it's the road to success. It's the road to education. It's a learn to profitability as well.
Exactly, and I wish good luck to everybody.
I think it will. I'm sure they will see it as an opportunity, and we'll be talking more about it in the future, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you again. And thank for our listeners, and you'll be able to find more about Renata Thiebaut on LinkedIn, and her name is Renata, and the last name is Thiebaut. I'll repeat that. It's Thiebaut. So you'll find her on LinkedIn, or you'll find more information on our website, which is www.talktobrazil, and Brazil with a Z.com. All of our previous shows of Talk to Brazil are also available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and YouTube. I'd like to thank our audience and our sponsor, Focus MI Market Intelligence. Focus MI specializes in market research for the Brazilian agricultural market. More about them on their site, which is www.focusmi.com. That's FOCUSMI.com. Remember, when you talk to Tom, you talk to Brazil and the world. Goodbye, and thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to Tom Reaoch on Talk to Brazil, the business connector to Brazil.